What is happening, YouTube? Welcome back to the Savant Life. This is 2017 already. God damn it, how time flies by. But since this is the first video that I'm making this year, I would just like to take this opportunity to wish all of you a very happy new year, and hopefully in the next 12 months you will see a lot of success, joy, happiness, health, prosperity and all of that good stuff. But the reason I'm coming to you today is because KTM is about to launch its 2017 versions of the RC390 and the RC200, and quite naturally there is a lot of speculation about the features, the upgrades, the bells and whistles the new bikes are supposed to receive. So I thought, being the good fella that I am, that I would just make a quick video giving you a rundown of everything that you can expect in the new bikes. So without any further ado, let's get the show on the road. Alright, so let's get started. What you're getting over here is actually a combination of a few cosmetic upgrades and a few actually functional ones. Whereas, and this is more so for the RC390, the RC200 just gets a couple of very minor cosmetic upgrades. So if you were thinking of upgrading to that bike, well, what can I say, bad news. But as far as the RC390 itself is concerned, the engine remains the same, and that is not a surprise, because why would you change anything that is working so well? So you still have the 373 single-cylinder liquid-cooled engine that produces 44 bhp of power, completely intact. However, there are going to be a few changes in order to make sure that the new RC390 is compliant with BS4 emission norms, and that is going to make the bike just a little more dearer on the pocket. Apart from that, the RC390 receives a little bit of a cosmetic upgrade as well. I don't know if you can necessarily call it an upgrade, it depends upon your personal preference, but it does have a slightly new color scheme and a stickering job. And to be completely honest, I think I quite like the look of the existing version, which had a muted matte look to the color and the paint. Whereas the new one has this shiny, glossy look, and I don't know if I'm completely on board with that, but I'll have to wait until I see the bike in person before I make up my mind. However, what I definitely do like about the new bike is that it has a really nice and sleek tail light, which makes the bike look really good, and I am definitely a fan of that. Another major change that you will see on the new bike is you won't really have the underbelly exhaust anymore. Instead of that, you will receive a traditional side-mounted exhaust system, and again, I actually quite liked the... Now there are cows in the middle of the road. Well, you know how we crib when foreigners try to stereotype us and say, oh, do you still have elephants and cows walking down the middle of the road? Well, actually, guess what? We have one of those too. We still have the cows, so I don't think we can get very upset about us being stereotyped after all. I mean, which major metropolis in Asia, apart from in our own country, you'll have cows just in the middle of a posh locality like Koramangala? It's just absolutely insane. So anyhow, I actually quite like the underbelly exhaust that the existing bike has. I think it goes really well with the aesthetics and the design of the bike. However, I guess they had to do what they had to do in order to make sure that they conform to the strict emission norms that exist in most of the European countries. Okay, traffic today is pissing me off for some reason, I don't know why. In addition to all of this, the new RC390 is expected to be sharper and more responsive. It has wider mirrors and a more effective braking system. The new bike will have a 320mm front disc braking system, which is expected to give it some much needed bite. All of this has also resulted in a drastic increase in the weight of the bike, because the RC390, the current version weighed in at about 147 kgs, and the new one is going to be a good 16 kgs heavier, coming in at 163.5 kilos. So we'll have to see how this whopping increase of 16 kgs will actually affect the quickness of the bike. Also, quick note, the fuel tank, which anyways was limited at about 10 liters, is now being further limited to 9.5, which is definitely not good news. Now moving on to the RC200, like I said before, there aren't any major upgrades on the RC200 apart from a few minor cosmetic changes. They've changed around the stickering of the bike, and they have gone with a white tank, which actually looks surprisingly good, and I quite prefer it to the existing version. But apart from that, there isn't any other change. But funnily enough, the weight of the RC200 also has gone up by a good 10 kgs. The older version used to be around 137, whereas the new version is going to be 147 kilos. And like its elder sibling, the RC200 also will now have a fuel tank of just about 9.5 liters. Which, you know, I mean, I guess if you're an RC fan, it shouldn't really bother you too much. But if the weight of the bike is going to increase so much, I was hoping that it would be as a result of a bigger tank, but that is definitely not the case. So there you have it, guys. That's my quick video. Like I said, there aren't any significant changes over here, and you can't really blame KTM for that because they already had such a good product out there in the market. So there are a few changes, a few cosmetic changes here, a few functional changes over there, but all in all, nothing much to get excited about. And I would say that if you are a fan of the existing bike, then you might as well go ahead and get in touch with your local KTM dealer and try to finagle a sweet discount out of him before the new bikes hit the stores. That about does it for me and this video. I hope you guys liked it and found it useful. If you did, then go ahead and share it with your friends and your social network. And if this is your first time around here at the Savant Life, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because like I always say, it only takes a second. I will see you the next time around. Until then, thanks so much for watching and ride safe. Look at all of these cows. They seem to follow me wherever they go, and I'm really scared of the pointy horns that one has. And if you look at it, that cow over there has Dawn written on its stomach. Dawn ko pakadna mushkil hi nahi, namumkin hai. But look, I'm almost about to catch it. I know, bad joke. Holy shit, look at this one right here. Look at the horns on that. If that butts you in the stomach with that, you're gonski.